Hey guys, it's Cristin. Welcome to February's bullet journal setup. Our theme for this month is about acceptance. I wanted to use pinks and purples to draw the butterflies and the design that I wanted to include in this setup. So let's begin. For the first two pages, I wanted to write the word February in a bubble font. So the design that I was aiming for was like an ombre type of look, where I'm supposed to go from the darkest purple to the lightest pink. But later on, you guys will see that I made a mistake and I started off with a lighter purple, and I'm gonna go ahead and correct that for the next few pages. But for the title page, we're just gonna have to make do with all the mistakes. So at first I wanted to just leave it as is, but then I decided to outline the word February and it turned out really good. So I'm glad that I decided to outline everything. And I drew some butterflies and diamonds hanging from the word February. Since acceptance is our theme for this month, I wrote the word acceptance inside the butterfly and diamond shapes. So, what made me decide on choosing butterflies for acceptance? Well, I don't know. I just kind of felt like the butterfly would suit the acceptance theme. But then I thought more about it and I realized how the butterfly has like different stages of life. First, it's a caterpillar and then it forms a cocoon and then it turns and blooms into a beautiful butterfly. So, as a metaphor, I feel like when you're accepting something, it's kind of like going through stages where at first you feel like you're being enclosed inside a cocoon and you don't know where to go, things are dark, and you feel stuck. But then at the end of the day, that waiting season is actually important and needed in order for you to bloom. So I felt that it was actually a really good symbol for this month's theme. This cover page turned out so lovely. However, I do wish that the lines were not so harsh. Like I was kind of imagining a more blended out color, but that's okay. It works and it was able to show the word February much clearer. Initially, I thought that the page itself looked fine, but I'm gonna go ahead and go back to this page later and color in the hanging butterflies and diamonds. During this moment, I really thought that it was good by itself, and then later on, I changed my mind. So on the next page here, I'm gonna start by drawing rectangles with rounded corners. I'm currently using Studio's 0.5mm gel pen. And the reason why I like using these is that they glide on the paper really well. So here you'll notice that I left a little space on the left side of the rectangle, and that space is meant for the days of the week. So I just repeated the same pattern on the right hand side of the bullet journal. I just left the space on the right instead of the left of the rectangle. And then I proceeded to draw a big butterfly right in the center of the two pages. Here I just drew the number 1 to represent the first week of the month. Next, I added a Bible verse at the very top of the page from Matthew chapter 6 verse 33. The verse says, "But seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well." This verse really resonated with me because sometimes when I find it hard to accept something in my life, I realize that my focus is not on God, but on the situation. So when I'm reminded by His word, I start to remember that in order for me to be able to fully accept something, I need to seek Him first. And all these things that I'm hoping for and wishing for will be given to me as well. In His time, under His will and for His purpose. Now I'm just adding color by picking up my purple and pink brush pens to fill in the spaces for the days of the week. And since the colors were a bit more vibrant than last month, I feel like the colors and the butterfly is such a perfect way to represent how I feel and how I want to achieve acceptance for this month. I feel like it was able to lift up my spirits. The next thing that I'm gonna do here is to write down the dates of the week, and I made sure that I didn't make any mistakes this time. So I really double checked my calendar to make sure that everything is correct and I got the right numbers. So the most exciting part that I wanted to share with you guys on today's BUJO is this stamp set. I got the stamp set, the letters from Walmart, and I got the stamp pad from the Great Canadian Dollar Tree. These are actually from my hauls, but I haven't uploaded the videos yet, so watch out for that if you want to see all these stationery supplies that I got. So just like last month, we are starting with Sunday and ending with Saturday. And this is how week 1 turned out. Do you guys remember when I told you earlier that I'm not gonna make a mistake? Well, I still did. And that is the rectangle on the bottom right hand corner of the BUJO. It was supposed to be left blank for notes, but I ended up drawing an extra rectangle, so I just made do with what I had and stamped the word notes on that rectangle. It works, so I just rolled with it. Okay, so for week number 2, we're basically gonna do the same exact thing, except we're gonna leave a space on the bottom right hand corner of the journal and not repeat the same mistake we did earlier. Okay. And then instead of 1 butterfly, I'm gonna draw 2 butterflies. And of course, since it's week number 2, we're gonna draw number 2 in the middle of the diamond. Under the butterflies, I am going to recreate the hanging words that we had at the cover page and write notes. This is how week 2 turned out. The notes area turned out great as well. Moving on to the 3rd and 4th pages of the BUJO, I'm just going to do the same exact thing, so I will be right back. For week 3's quote, I used accept the things you cannot change. And then on the top left corner of the bullet journal, I left some space for notes. And for week 4, we have the 2 butterflies and the notes area on the bottom right hand corner. So now it's time to do the most awaited flip through. That brings us to the end of today's bullet journal setup. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you on the next one.